On TikTok, there's a huge trend where people make content about reselling. And a month back, I realized that selling the link to the vendors is actually more profitable and safer than reselling yourself. Now, there's a few different routes you can take with this. And in this video, I'll teach you how to go viral selling links the regular way. And I'll save the female slideshow reselling method for another video. Now, this is the full guide on how to go viral selling vendors on TikTok. So why is selling vendor links better than reselling? Well, there's a phrase which goes, sell shovels in a gold rush. It's more profitable, right? So when everyone digs for gold, sell the shovels. As you can see in this image, reselling is kind of like the gold rush at the moment. People want to make money quick. And if you can give them the means to start reselling, but they have to pay you to get it, you'll make way more money than reselling yourself. Why is it better? Well, you can avoid risking thousands of pounds and getting scammed by suppliers. Now, there's something called exit scamming, which people should be aware of. It's when suppliers are about to shut down their factory, maybe because of like some law in China, maybe they got caught by, some authorities and then they're forced to close down their factory. And when this happens, they usually stop fulfilling orders, but they take payments. So you'll pay them and then you'll never receive your products. Also, when you do this, you're no longer tied down to stock and you can travel the world because you'll be selling everything on TikTok and digitally. So you won't need to sell stock or anything. And it's also less risky. There's no issues with buyers refunding like in reselling on the marketplaces. And you won't get your accounts banned. There's no problems like that as there is in traditional reselling. Now, why should you listen to me? This is one of the stores I've done. I've posted a few videos which have got millions of views. This is one store I've done. Now, you can do your videos without showing your face. I just showed my face because I don't really mind. And from these 5 videos, I made $11,900 in about 11 or 12 days. So I know how to do that. And then store 2, my students that I taught, he made $7,200 in 3 days. And as you can see, he had 5 viral videos in a row using the methods that I showed him and that I'm about to show you now. So for resellers that have stock on hand, as if you have like product at your house that you can show on videos, post 2 times a day using the following video formats. So the first video format is an unboxing video. Now I'll quickly play an unboxing video just so you get the feel of what it is.
My boy just hit me up, told me he found a valid cologne supplier that sends a receipt with every bottle. Quality is crazy on these, even has a batch code on the bottom. Nah, that's crazy. I'm not gonna gatekeep. If you guys want the supplier, drop me a follow, comment the word supplier, and I'll send it straight to your DMs.
So as you can see, he unboxes the product, shows it off to the people watching, and then tells them to comment the word supplier. And then when they comment the word supplier, he'll send the website link to their DMs. Now, what are the pros of this? Very easy to make. Like, this is super, super simple. All you need to do is just get a phone mount that goes around your neck, so you can just film in first person and you have 2 hands available. You can buy those on Amazon. So just search phone head mount. And then also it's easy to go viral if you pick the right product. So again, it literally takes 20 minutes to make, not even that. And if you have the right product, you can get hundreds of thousands of views of customers looking to buy from you. Also got a high conversion rate because you're literally showing off exactly what they're going to get if they buy from your vendor store. Now, the cons of this are you have to reply to comments saying sent, but it's okay because that boosts engagement. It just takes a bit of time at the beginning. And then you also need to test many different products to go viral. So you won't just go viral on your first video, it might take a few tries. And then some tips, definitely pick a unique product that hasn't been seen before. For example, JBL speakers, phones, Lego, Dyson hairdryers. And tell people to comment the word supplier and I'll send you where I get them from. So reply to all the comments saying sent, as I said before. And then you can also tell them to follow. And then, yeah, again, reply to people in the comments and ask, hey, I'll send it to you, but just checking, have you followed me? That sort of thing. So here are some videos to copy. So Camry Sells does really, really good unboxing videos that go viral, and so does AA Vendors. AA Vendors is really consistent. He gets like very consistent views, so I'd recommend watching his videos to get some inspiration on how to make your own good ones. So the next video idea you can do is a meetup skit. Let me show you an example of that quickly.
Oh my god! Cheryl, right? Yeah, you wanted the cologne?
So you get the point, right? That you're basically meeting up with the buyer, and for this he uses the Meta glasses, which are the glasses where you record. But again, they're about $200. So if you do want to do this without buying the Meta glasses, you'll have to get an actor, so like one of your friends that you can film with, and then use the headphone mount, which should only cost about £20 on Amazon, as I said before. But yeah, this converts pretty well if you say how much you bought it for in the beginning. So if you directly tell like the viewers, that you bought it for £20 and now you're about to sell it for £150, that's where you can make some good money. However, a lot of the time it won't convert very well because you'll just attract an audience of people who aren't resellers. Now, these can go super viral. This video I just showed you, it got 9.5 million views, I think. So yeah, these videos can go super viral. So the cons are, it's quite a lot of effort. So it's pretty difficult. You have to coordinate, you know, either filming yourself actually meeting up with the person when you're selling a product, so like a real video, not a skit, or coordinate a skit with one of your friends and you just kind of tell each other what you're going to say in the video. And you might not make that many sales unless you talk about profit, as I mentioned before. So tips for this: follow a trending format. So for example, do guess the price and I'll give it to you for free cologne, or double it and give it to the next person. Those sorts of videos would do well because people will be interested in seeing what happens at the end. And again, you want to focus on watch time, you want to focus on likes and comments, right? And in the start of the video, this is called a hook. You want to show a 2-second clip of something crazy happening. For example, the customer disrespects you, they break the item, or anything else eye-catching. Now, I've seen some guy, he's really good. His name is Resell Paid. And Resell Paid, he makes skits where people rob him while he's doing a meetup. And each video he gets like 1 million views plus. So if you can coordinate that with your boys, you tell them, okay, I want to pretend that you're robbing me. So search up Resell Paid. That's the TikTok account which does the really good skits. Also, AA Vendors does good skits, so does Cam Resells, and also Real Deal Vendors. So definitely watch their videos for inspiration, and then you can make some of them yourself. Now, the next video is like a day in the life video. So the pros of these, super easy to make, okay? You literally just put your phone down, film yourself, write some text, okay? And you just film yourself throughout the day. This also converts really well and makes a lot of sales on your vendors if you're actually making money in the video. So for example, if you're making like, 60k, as this guy is here, Snow Online, if you made like 60k and you're showing your day in the life of you making a lot of money, people will trust you, okay? They'll see that you're making money and they'll also want to make money too. But yeah, the cons is a lot of filming is required, okay? Throughout your day, you're going to have to film yourself packing orders, shipping them at the post office, collecting orders from like delivery guys at the door. And yeah, here are a few tips. So there's a few ways you can go viral doing this, and the first way you can go viral doing this is through relatability. Now, this is like, for example, if you do day in the life of a 15-year-old reseller, okay, so you don't have to necessarily like act really rich, you don't have to act really successful, just be as relatable as you can. So you could say, day one, today I went to the shop and I shipped out these AirPods which sold yesterday. Unfortunately, I got a chargeback today. Just whatever actually happened, document it, but make it very relatable. That's one way you can go viral. Another way you can go viral is if you're making a lot of money, just like this Snow Online guy. He's made 60 grand off Vinted and people are really interested just because of how much money he's made. And then a third way is if you're doing something really unique. So if you're selling a unique product like the Dyson hairdryer that Snow Online is selling, people want to stick around, they'll want to watch the video, they'll want to follow to see if it actually works, to know if they want to try it themselves. And yeah, here are some accounts you can copy. So we got Snow Online, Ecom Dev, Bando Resells. I'm going to quickly show you an example of a day in the life video. So yeah, for him, he can go viral super easily, simply because he's got a lot of money already and people are really interested. So for you, yep, you can do more fast-paced videos like, sold 5 today, I did this today, I, shipped it out today. And yeah, that's a really good video format to follow. I would definitely recommend trying it. Now next we have advice for resellers. So I'll show you a quick example here.
Your products as real. Only negative comes from it, and let me show you guys how. If someone buys your product as real and they come out to think it's fake, they're not gonna like that. They're gonna think they got scammed. They're gonna try.
So you get the gist. You basically give advice to resellers and then they'll stick around, watch your video, and maybe buy your vendors if they like your advice. So the pros of this, super easy to make. You literally just talk to the camera, okay? You build a lot of trust with your customers. You get a lot of sales because they simply like your, they like your advice. They think you're a good reseller, and then they trust you a lot just because of the advice you give them. And then the only problem with this is that you need to be credible. So you need to prove that you have credit to talk about this advice. You have to show like a big wall of stock behind you, just like you see in this guy's video with all his spider hoodies. Or maybe if you've got like sales screenshots of making like hundreds of pounds on Vinted, on eBay, you know, you need to be credible for people to listen to you. Now, you also need to be able to talk on camera. So this isn't too difficult. I mean, if you just practice a bit, just film every day, you know, try make some advice videos every single day. Just see what happens. Honestly, it's not that difficult to talk on camera. You just got to practice. And then as you practice and practice, you'll like the sound of your own voice more. Because I know personally when I first started talking on camera, I didn't really like the sound of my voice. But now I feel like I can get into the flow of it. And I actually don't mind talking. It just comes with practice. So if you post one of these videos every single day, you'll get really good at it in about 2-3 weeks. So the tips for this, So some tips for this, you should definitely say a controversial statement at the beginning of your video. So for example, on that other video I just showed you, do not list your items as real. Now a lot of people don't actually know about this. They think, okay, I've never heard anyone say this before. I've always been listing my items as real. And when they hear that, they'll just stop and they'll want to watch what you have to say. I highly recommend trying the top 5 and bottom 5 format. For example, the top 5 items to resell in 2025, or the bottom 5 suppliers of all time. You could say like AliExpress, you know. It's basically a tier list, and you start from number 5 and you leave number 1 until the end. Now, another hack that I didn't put on this slideshow, actually don't have a number 1. So if you have 5, 4, 3, and 2, and you go, you know, in order from 5 up to 2, so you're like, number 5 is aavendors.com, number 4 is AliExpress, number 3 is DHgate, right? You say all of that, and then you don't say a number 1. You just cut the video after number 2 is done. That will increase your watch time a lot. People will think they're going to see number 1, and then they won't scroll, and then you'll have like a full watch through of the video, meaning you'll probably go viral. And here's an example of a top 5 video that I've made that went viral.
After testing tons of side hustles, number 5 has to be freelance brand scaling, aka SMM. Not only did Iman Gadzhi close his SMM, saw some guy get 250 mil views on YouTube.
You get the point basically. You just go through a list of top 5 things. You start from 5 and then you go back up to 1. Now also another tip is you got to have the credibility, as I said earlier, and you can do that by having like a pile of stock in your background. You can have money on the table, alright, like a shelf full of AirPods or cologne in the background of your video. This builds trust, and people will be more likely to stop the video and watch what you're saying because they trust that you actually have experience. Now here are some videos to copy. We have EcomDev, PHX Supplies, AD Resells, and Resellers Realm. Okay, they all give good advice. You can pretty much copy their videos, maybe change the hook a bit, and the hook is the start of the video. So maybe you could change the hook up a little bit just to make it more like interesting and attention grabbing. Now this is a super unsaturated one that I haven't seen many people do. I think I started this trend myself, and it's basically testing videos. So in my videos I test if like a certain product actually makes money, but there's other ones where people test vendors, there's other ones where people test like reselling websites, and the pros of this is it converts really well. Okay, it makes a lot of sales. And then at the end, you can say link in bio. You won't have any problems with that at the end of your video. And as long as you like implement it into your content well, so you say, for example, because my suppliers were so good, I'll leave them in my bio, right? That's just an example. And then again, it's unsaturated, okay? If you make one of these videos, it will probably go viral very easily because people want to see transparency. They want to see someone testing something they've seen on the internet already. So yeah, this concept's been around for years, but I think I was the first to do it in reselling. I definitely recommend hopping on it, start making some testing videos. Now, next con, it's quite long to make and edit. You have to do like a decent amount of editing. So I'll show you mine, for example.
There's no way you can make hundreds of pounds a day selling logos, so let's try it and see if it works.
And another con is you need to actually resell an item. So you actually have to do stuff, right? And then you just film yourself throughout the process, show it all on TikTok, you know, make it interesting. So here are some tips. Do not say the result of the test until the last 3 seconds of the video. This will boost your watch time a lot because TikTok relies on watch time to make your video go viral. So you see how my video, I didn't say how much I made until the last second. It's literally the last thing I said. So for the whole video, people are waiting to see if I actually made money. And then eventually they find it out, but when they find it out, the video ends, meaning they watch the full way through. So you can test a bunch of different things, as I said before, certain products, marketplace websites like eBay, Depop, Vinted, or some new ones. You can test vendors, and you can test anything else that you think people would want to see if it works. So yeah, just get creative with it, think of some things like that. And I highly recommend this personally. React to a video in the first 3 seconds where someone claimed that it works. Now, your video should start with, does this actually work? Let's try it. People completely understand what you're doing if you just use that format. So in my videos, I put myself in the bottom left, edited, watching the video, and I use emotion. So I'm pulling a questioning face, I'm pulling a shocked face, right? So people assume, okay, after this video, he's gonna do something, and then they'll watch and see what happens. Videos to copy, my account, Andrew Turek, and this guy called Caden Booth. He doesn't do it for reselling specifically, but he's where I got the idea from. Because TikTok's all about getting ideas from other places that you've seen go viral, and then implement it into your own content. So yeah, honorable mention, slideshow trends. You might have seen them. It's you do have some kind of plans for the summer, don't you? Yeah, I guess. How can you be so nonchalant? And it's basically just this trending format that works. But the problem is, you will get views, but you won't make many sales at all on your vendors. What you need to do to actually make money off of these kind of videos is you need to reply to the top comment with a video. So if you hold down on a comment on a video, it will say reply with video, right? That video will actually get pushed out to all the people who saw your viral video, meaning that that one will also go viral. That video that you reply with should be one of the other video formats that I told you about before. And yeah, here's some bonus sauce. This is just what I was saying a second ago. Make videos replying to top comments, okay? You have to do this. If the video went viral, the reply video will also go viral if you make it interesting. Now, in this reply video, make sure to have a clear call to action, which means you just say, my vendors are in my bio, at the end. These videos will be the ones that make you way more sales, as in these videos, they'll get views regardless. So you don't need to make it viral. You can literally just show off how good quality the product is, how fast your supplier's shipping time is, and how much money you make. And then at the end say, link in my bio. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I've put some free vendors in the description of this video that I personally sell and that you can sell as well. So it's basically a YouTube video where I talk about my story and how I generated 200 million views and basically how I started selling vendors to make all this money. And at the end of that video, I just give out all the free vendors that I use and that you can sell as well. So go ahead, click that below and watch the video till the end, and then you'll get my free vendors. Thank you for watching. Hope this helped.